Hello guys, how are you doing? Hope you guys are rocking today. So today is October. It's going towards the end of the year, so we have been talking about the stocks of Dow, right? So if you haven't heard of this series, please leave me comments and I can make you a video what is stock of Dows and is it going to be work statistically how and when we should buy those. But for this year, there are 10 stocks of Dows that we should invest in. They're saying that if it works, it will give you a really positive return and also outperforming the index, which is the Dow Jones Index. But for this year, it's not doing as good because only two stocks have been outperforming the index. The first, one of them is Boeing. This company is really outperforming, and the most and the one that has the worst performance is the IBM. So there are two possibilities. The first one is for the remaining of less than 2 months, the stock price will suddenly all go up and outperform the index again. The second thing is, well, this year it doesn't work, and then it will become another year of stocks of Dows for another year for 2018. So as the time goes by, the second possibility is more likely, right? But in terms of investment, in terms of in a portfolio, we really don't want to limit by December 31st as a deadline of selling and buying any stocks, right? So we'll talk about two stocks. The first one is the worst performing stock, IBM. The second one is the best performing stock, Boeing. So hopefully you have some insights of what to invest and how to invest for the rest of this year, or maybe for the beginning of next year. Oh, so the first one is IBM. Probably you know that was IBM. Steve Jobs have been talking about this, and his dream is to go in to visit IBM. If you look at the movie about the space and stuff, IBM is doing the computing and hardware stuff like that. If you imagine IBM is doing the computer and hardware still now, you're so wrong, because if we look at the breakdown, we will see that the most revenue that comes from technology services and cloud platforms. So they are doing cloud platforms and computing, which is the big data thing that is going on for the past decade. So it's pretty hit. The second thing is the solutions and industry services that's providing services and solutions for the companies and people out there. So doing hardware and software is not even more than 10% of their revenue, right? So IBM is now supporting and the backbone of the big data. That is the key. So they're holding lots of data as much as Google and Tencent in the West. So we have to understand that. And for the report, that's more concerning because we're talking about their earning is not as sexy. It's pretty plateau, right? So you can see from earning $4.7 to $3 to $2.9 to $3, 4.9, and the fluctuating. More recent quarters are not as good. So we look at annual figures, right? So it's been dropped ever since 2015, and then dropped from $17 to $15 to $13. So as you can see, January 18th is the announcement date for the annual report for IBM. So the estimate earning is $30.7. It's almost haven't grown for a little bit, but as you can see, the average price is 0.7%. So it says that usually if they're having the earning report coming up, it usually beats the estimate for a little bit. So that is probably the slight hope by the end of this year. So my personal suggestion is they still have a gimmick. For example, you know that they have the IBM blockchain, and they are cooperating, partnershiping with the UBS, the iBanks, and the iBanks had great relations with Donald Trump and the United States government for many decades. We know that. So as long as the blockchain, Bitcoin stuff still work, of course, the China has been banned. The Bitcoin has been banned in China, but if it still works in other countries and in general in this currency, the blockchain will may surprise us by next year. So I think that for this year it's pretty hard for it to rebound, giving you a really good return. But if you will be investing through the beginning of the 2018, something that you should consider is IBM. So technically, it's been rebounding from $140 per share to $147. Yes, it's an uptrend channel, but the degree of the incline is pretty low. Okay, so if you want to invest in long term or mid to long term, it's pretty good. So technically, if it dropped, setting back to $145 per share, it's really good chance to buy. Otherwise, you can buy now, setting 145 as cut loss level, and then the target, you can target $151.5 per share. That's basically my update. And then the second stock is Boeing corporation company. Okay, so as you may know, Boeing is doing aircrafts, right? Commercial aircrafts. Wrong. Yes, that's true. Mainly it's from aircrafts. It's only about 60%, but almost 30 to 40% is about defense and security, which is tightly related to the government spending in war and civil and defense, and also tightly correlate with any issues about the wars and battles between North Korea and stuff like that. So that is why you don't see the crude oil prices coming down, but the aircraft stock prices is going up. That's pretty unusual, right? Because recently they're talking about North Korea, and now they're called Donald Trump is also calling out Iran, right? You may be thinking that this guy is out of his mind, right? But this is what he's doing. He needs to do, right? He's doing stuff like that to kind of setting the boundaries, breaking down. I can't explain it anyway, but he has his way to earn money anyway. So that is exactly why this stock price Boeing is going up, because it's the correlation with that, and also with the crude oil prices with the world is about 0.4%, 0.4 correlation. Statistically, it's saying that they have a strong relation link between each other. So we can see that, but in terms of growth, it's not pretty sexy. We can see BA, okay? So in Bloomberg estimates, this growth is pretty plateau. Last year is pretty good, but this year it's coming to be, the growth will be dropping for 10%, but the 3 years after that will be doing really good, like 10%, more than 10% every year. But I think that people in Wall Street doesn't really give a thing to the 2-year or 4-year term of investment, right? Because they are talking about monthly or quarterly performance. But I think that, so for that reason, I think for that reason and this reason alone, I think the stock price is going up only because people are fear about the war, and he's calling out everyone, and they will adding budget to the war, stuff like that. So Boeing, the stock price will go up, but eventually, commercial wise, people will go outside of the US or outside of other countries to visit and to travel to do business. People will order more aircrafts, and then that brings 60 to 70% of their revenue. That is the base. So again, I don't think that by this quarter it will go up suddenly a lot, but this quarter is the quarter that if there's any chance you can invest at a good price, you can invest, and you may give you a really good return by the end of this year or beginning of next year. So technically, I think you can buy it now, but in really short term, you can set 244 as a cut loss. But I think setting 230 as a cut loss is the better approach. From that to $230 is slightly more than 10% cut loss. But the ratio wise, if we use gap theory, technically the target should hit $278 per share. So that is really fair. Bottom and top risk and return is 20/20. So if you can buy now, yeah, you can buy now. If you want this deal to be more attractive, you can wait for it to come back down for, let's say, $10. By then, if it goes to 248, then the cut loss is $10. The target is $30. Is 1-to-3 ratio. That is really good deal. So that's basically it. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to the channel and like my Facebook page. If you find the investing through this channel is pretty much basic and pretty much easy, because I believe investing is easy and investing is about life, about routines. And please share this movement and share this to all your friends. If you have anything to add, please add it to the comment section below. Please give me a thumbs up and share this video to your friends. I'll see you next time. Investing Made Easy. Goodbye.